That Chris Isaac song about politics.
Most Chris Isaac songs are about politics. He uses
Yeah.
sex as a metaphor for the legislation process.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, male sexiness.
Baby Did a Bad Thing is about a junior senator who added too many amendments to a reconciliation bill and it was unable to pass.
That is a bad thing.
Man, politics are so boring.
Damn.
Wicked Game. Somebody's crying.
Yes.
Those are just 2 songs of his.
I only know 2 songs.
He's referring to
The
himself.
song from Eyes Wide Shut and the Wicked Game song.
Yeah, totally. I just remember that he, at some award show, him and Cameron Diaz were presenting an award together, and he kissed her in the middle of it, and Cameron Diaz got really mad and was like, "That wasn't in the script."
Ew.
She immediately told on him. She tattled.
Dancing? Is that the Dancing in the Moonlight song?
Everybody was dancing.
That one's actually about Ted Danson.
No.
Oh, it's
Dancing.
DANSON in the moonlight.
Dude, Chris Isaac, he's got some levels to him. Dancing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he must get so many blowjobs that he's like permanently stoned. And he's just
the post orgasm high, you're saying?
he's like the guy, he's
Or
like in
talking about-
Trainspotting when he's so high and OD'd that he's like in the carpet.
Oh yeah.
He just gets his dick sucked so much.
Here, oh shit. I was gonna send you the thing, but it's video unavailable. Blocked by Viacom.
Fucking Viacom.
Hate the corporations. Hate how they won't let me watch video clips from their
Things.
award shows.
Free.
Yeah.
I saw it. I don't care.
Okay.
And MTV Movie Awards, right?
I mean, I care. I just thought it was an interesting award or moment because it was genuine, like getting
Discomfort.
told
Tension.
on national TV immediately.
Kiss.
Yeah. And the entire world forgot it happened because it was not a
I
big
don't
deal.
even know who he was. Was it as big of a deal as
it's a
when
big
Michael
deal.
Jackson kissed a girl?
What?
Lisa Marie. For all of you who said this wouldn't last, I think it's the single smallest kiss any man has ever given a woman in his life.
Damn, he proved us wrong.
He's just vomiting backstage in a garbage can.
He really
And they're
proves
like,
people wrong.
Lisa's
with
like,
that.
is Michael okay? They're like, we need an ambulance. And he's just being carried out in an ambulance because he kissed a girl for the first time
Instead
in
of
his
hooking
life.
them up to an oxygen mask, they hook him up to like a little boy's asshole. And that's what resuscitates him.
Yeah, it's realistic.
Oh, so Adam texted about when he was watching what was the name of this movie? The Hideaway?
Hideaway. One word.
He said, this movie is awesome. I want to guess what scene he was looking at when he texted that. And my first guess is either the scene where my fun guess would be it's when he's like in heaven or whatever, and you see the naked girl.
Well,
like,
Adam, don't answer because I want to
7-year-old.
guess too.
So when you see like the naked 7-year-old girl, I'm sure he was like,
No.
"Oh, this movie's awesome." that's my joke guess.
The 7-year-old girl wearing the bodysuit.
Yeah.
She's like a smooth
Like
colored
in
bodysuit.
Seinfeld, George Costanza when he's bodysuit guy.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
My real guess is when they're having sex. That crazy sex scene.
The Christine Lottie, Jeff Goldblum sex scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hot.
Okay, what's your guess?
I'm going to say it's the 2-minute slow push in on Jeff Goldblum in his like turtleneck sweater when he's just like listening to Miranda Sex Garden, his daughter's favorite band, just blasting through the floor. And he's just like, I feel like Jeff Goldblum half directed this movie.
Just based on how weird his performance was.
I mean, he's completely taking over the movie. He's in way too many scenes.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's about him though, right?
It's one man's journey.
When did you get?
Yeah,
when did you say that?
I texted it to you after the opening.
So it was when the girl was butt ass.
No,
When
no,
the guy
no.
was.
It was after
playing
the guy
heaven.
goes to hell. Man, that opening
Yeah.
is fucking amazing. The opening is like a masterpiece, I would say.
I mean, the CGI sucks.
Yeah, but for the time,
Editing is boring. The editing is bad in this movie.
the editing is bad. I agree.
I also hate when they freaking he just walks up and he just has a room in this house that has like pentagrams all over the walls and like clearly like a sacrifice
marker
altar
drawings.
and it's like, what? That's not your house, dude. Like your parents wouldn't see like, hey, something's up with our kid.
He's
You
also
just have a
rich.
seance room.
Yeah.
He's a rich kid. The dad lives in a giant mansion, and he has like
That's his
magic
hideaway.
marker and newspaper clippings.
That was
Yeah.
a pretty gnarly way to murder his family, though.
Yeah, it was. It was cool. And I thought that room was cool. Like, I don't know.
And then
They did a good
also
job
in the
with it.
opening, they try to hide who the father is, but you can see it, so it's not a surprise later on.
Oh, really?
I missed it.
Yeah,
I was
I could-
surprised.
I wasn't paying attention.
I'm a big Alfred Molina fan, so I'm always on the lookout.
Oh yeah.
Doc Ock,
Yeah,
Ever heard of him?
one of the best Doc Ocks.
cool guy from Boogie Nights.
Yeah, for sure. His first
What
role
else?
was in Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was as like the native guy. Wasn't that his first?
He's like the Sherpa who gets killed.
Yeah, at the beginning.
He says, "Indy, throw me the idol," and then he gets murdered.
His first
Immediately.
role is brownface. That's cool.
I figured it out. I didn't know it was his son, but I figured he obviously knew who the other guy was. Like, I would have just been pressing that doctor from the beginning. Like, hey, who's this
Anyone.
other guy you
problem?
resurrected from the dead?
Anyone would know who the killer is in this movie.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way this guy
Yeah,
can get away
the
with
kid-
anything.
Did this movie come out before or after The Matrix? Before, right?
Before.
It was heavily influential on the Matrix.
I'm glad they explained his sunglasses too, because that was dumb as shit. He looked so stupid with those dumbass tiny sunglasses. And then
Oh,
later
yeah.
they're like,
Yeah,
So-
he's wearing them in the club.
Was he-
yeah.
Was that always a problem for him? Because Jeff Goldblum doesn't have a problem with sunglasses.
No, because he went to heaven, probably not hell.
They
He
give you-
died. They both died. And Jeff Goldblum's character actually died for a longer period of time than the
Yeah. Right. He broke the record.
Versaggio.
Massage.
What's his real name's what?
Versaggio.
Daniel.
Vaginio.
That was cool though, when he all of his chakras aligned right before he got resurrected.
Yeah.
Also, is he immortal? Is Jeff Goldblum immortal now?
The justification they have for like the whole science basis of the why they get pulled back and stuff is like unnecessary, I think. It's like,
Oh, I didn't know they even explained it. I thought he was just like, I have resurrection juice, and then he shot it into
the
him.
scientist like invented this thing that like can bring people back, and he's only used it on 2 people, I guess. But then there's like the
Been dead for 2
spiritual
hours.
element of this movie that is very bizarre because of how like sincerely shown it is. But it's like, isn't it
What do you-
weird for
what do you
like,
mean
isn't it
sincerely?
weird for, well, it's like showing heaven and hell. And
I don't think it's sincere. It's not that it's shown sincerely. It's that it's shown literally. And it looks
yeah. But then
very
like,
primitive. It looks like a Nintendo
Yeah.
64 game.
I like how like
Yeah.
when the guy is going like he's going into hell or whatever, his soul, that like little face on like the flip.
Yeah,
And it
that
reminds-
reminded me of some like Instagram story
Yeah.
filter.
Or it kind of looks like remember Thumb Wars? The guy who did like Kung Pao Enter the Fist. He would do like movies with like
I'm Shadyac.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
Tom
did
Shadyac.
those too.
it kind of looked like that. But it was funny when he was falling to hell. He was like,
Yeah, I didn't know if he was enjoying it or it's like, you just asked for this, bro.
just
Like you asked to go to.
the sound design just had this him making this like funny little noise.
He makes a
As
very
he was going to
whiny
hell.
noise.
Yeah.
Both of them too. Goldblum's
yeah.
was like weird as hell. I didn't know if Goldblum was enjoying it or not.
Dude, but those hell scenes are awesome.
I mean,
I mean, I love it when movies show
I
now.
I
think it's
hate
very
shitty
interesting.
CGI though.
Yeah, but I mean, it was you got to think about it at the time. Wasn't he? He was like the lawnmower man guy who wasn't that like the first time that
I
had
hated it
like
back
happened or like
then
been shown
too.
or something like
So
he
Brett
like was the
Leonard,
pioneer of this technology, wasn't he? Will? You know,
well, this was
he's
his
a host
like
of this podcast.
niche. He directed Lawnmower Man before this, and that has a lot of tunnel sequences of people going through tunnels. The CGI in Lawnmower Man, I think, is better, and it's an older movie.
Mm.
It probably cost a lot more. The CGI in this movie looks very rushed, like it was done very quickly. And this guy has everything he did has a lot of like cyber technology in air quotes. Like one thing he directed that you got to watch is his Billy Idol cyberpunk music video.
Mm.
So in the mid 90s, Billy Idol reinvented himself as a cyberpunk. Okay. Cause he was, a punk rocker.
Right.
So then he got like, he basically like ripped off the Prodigy and like gave himself like spiky hair.
I see. Kind of like how Vanilla Ice like reinvented himself as a rap metal guy.
Exactly. And it went over just as well. But yeah, there's this video of
It's like
Billy Idol
their
and
Chris Gaines kind of thing.
Oh, I have seen Lawnmower Man. I'm looking at it now.
It's like their Sasha Fierce.
Well, I think Lawnmower Man's a better movie than this.
Yeah, that movie was great because I remember
never saw
watching
it.
it thinking that was the South Park guy.
It's not good, but it's better than Hideaway. I think Hideaway is very boring after the
I think
first like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
It
how
just
long it had to go.
fucking
after, like, where it was in
drags for
in
an
this
hour.
Story.
It could have been like I was saying, I would read it as a graphic novel. That'd be pretty cool, kind of Constantine-esque graphic novel where he's just like this psychic detective.
It's just,
But
He's not a detective though. What does
No,
Jeff
but
Goldblum do in the
this is-
movie? What
this
is
is
his
like
his
job?
What is
this is like year.
He's
oh,
rich as hell. He has like 2
House is
homes.
great.
What's his wife do?
Also, yeah, it's weird
We
to
never
see
find
him.
Oh, they must have had a great life insurance on that young
Now,
kid that died.
okay, so let's talk more about Brett
Yeah,
Leonard.
that's
because
all it
there's
was.
some
They were
funny
just
stuff.
living large off of that life insurance.
Oh yeah, the dead kid,
Yeah,
the naked girl.
I mean, I kind
They
of,
were in a smaller house in that scene, right? She leaves the house on a little bicycle and then gets hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like his dream.
By a
Yeah, it was like a
dope ass
one-
Corvette.
it was like a shitty one, like 2-bedroom. And now
Yeah, I
they're
like how
just,
he grabs. Sorry, we'll go back to the director, but I like how when he does that flashback of his young daughter like getting hit by a car. He's washing his car and she takes off on the bike and he's smiling, and then he notices she left her helmet on the porch, and then he's like, "Oh no!" And then
Yeah.
he looks over and she just gets annihilated by the car. Like a helmet wouldn't do anything, anyways. Like she was
it's like
just
one of
going to
those
get
where a doll like,
squished.
flies like 50 feet in the
It was-
air with it.
that helmet would not have done shit.
Man,
But
Yeah,
who's
that-
this director? What's up with
oh,
this
Brett
director?
Leonard, yeah.
So what's funny about him is if you go on his Wikipedia, it has no mention of Lawnmower Man, Hideaway, Virtuosity. Those are like his 3 big studio movies. It only mentions his like new media technology, VR,
Weird.
CGI career post all that. But it does mention his like Billy Idol phase. He did his music video. He shot
all
him on the
have
Tonight
one.
Show with Jay Leno. And it's like a very technical article. It's like he used his like this like very special like digital video camera and added like digital video graphics while he's performing.
Mm.
And then he
Ahead
also
of its
directed
time.
a Peter Gabriel video that's like really insane. It's like a frog in like a lake and it's fully CGI. It
That sounds
looks
awesome.
like it just looks like the craziest like it looks like just like a 4-minute long movie theater
Like the
intro.
Budweiser commercials.
Yeah, it just is like complete shit. Everything he does is just like over the top and shitty. But he has like he's really enthusiastic about everything he does.
That's good.
And he's just like really
Appreciate
like into it.
enthusiasm. That counts for something. I think.
Confidence, enthusiasm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has confidence when he makes these like ridiculous movies.
Yeah. It kind of felt like it had like, it was maybe trying to, I don't know, the beginning when they're at the lake house, it.
Oh yeah, they have a lake house on top of a mansion.
Yeah.
What
Maybe
does he do?
They had good insurance on this little girl.
So the way the movie starts is after this kid kills himself, Jeff Goldblum and Christine Lottie are playing the movie game where you say the name of a movie, the other person says the name of an actor in that movie, and then the other person says the name of a movie that actor was in. Or connected somehow.
What a lame. Also, those burgers, and they were flipping burgers that look absolutely disgusting.
Now, here's the funny thing.
That's really funny.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing with the movie
round
game.
And gray.
Jeff Goldblum, in interviews, plays the movie game all the time. Jeff Goldblum's obsessed with the movie game. So I'm thinking he just threw out the screenplay, was like, why don't we just play the movie game to start really the movie?
He definitely did that.
And everything in the lake house is, I think some of the most interesting, funny scenes are in the lake house and have but I feel like it's all improvised and there's no script.
There's a weird chemistry.
It seems like that with him. Yeah, totally. That's the chemistry is weird as shit.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Goldblum went completely rogue on this movie and is directing himself.
Yeah, I think
because the director is just a technical guy who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah.
It works.
Except for the big set.
I was going to say something like that, but it doesn't actually work. It's really weird.
It doesn't work because he has horrible communication skills with his wife. Like the only time he has good communication skills is when he comes back from the dead and is like whistling in the kitchen and he's cooking and he's
got a little pep in his step,
making a shit ton of stir fry that they never eat. They never eat it. That pisses me off.
Remember when she finds out that he's still alive and she goes to his hospital room and he was like, should I have steered into he made
a joke into it. He's joking around and he's all healthy and happy when they went through a horrific car wreck. That was horrible.
No
Jesus,
injuries,
that car
he just
wreck.
died.
That was like 6 car wrecks. 6 car wrecks in one.
They fell off a cliff.
So there was a truck driver that fell asleep at the wheel, entered their lane.
A real problem.
Well, no, Jeff Goldblum enters the truck driver's lane. But
the truck driver was swerving. Yeah,
I know, but it's fake. Like the truck driver guy is asleep, but he's really not doing anything wrong. He's in his lane. But Jeff Goldblum's car goes into the
scene.
Jeff Goldblum's
looking at the
daughter, Regina.
Yeah, which is has 4 times the amount of cuts back and forth as
it could have been 1.
Yeah, but
there was a cool shot though. There's a cool rear view mirror shot though where it was 2 seconds and it was just the Regina, whatever that actor's name is,
Alicia
Silverstone.
Yeah, it was like her, but the way it was edited was really cool. It was just all
right,
it was cool. I haven't seen a rear view mirror shot like that since the 90s.
Interesting.
Well, it's an actually tense scene because okay, there's a truck coming. He's not paying attention. The truck driver's asleep.
Yeah,
there's some element of suspense to this,
but
to that actual moment.
This, what I do like about this movie is that you don't know that they're going to fall down the cliff and you're going to follow them into the lake.
That's what I'm saying. It was 7 different crashes.
Yeah.
So the difference between you guys is you've never even heard of this movie. You didn't know anything about it. Right. Whereas when I first heard about this movie, I was in middle school, huge horror movie nerd, desperate for any horror movie. And then I watched on cable, the making of this movie multiple times in a weekend on Sci-Fi Channel to build hype. So I'm and they're talking about the CGI. They're talking about how cool the movie is. Yeah. They're hyping it up. They explain the premise. I know everything about the movie before I see it. And so when I finally saw it, I was just this sucks, man. This is lame.
I mean, it wasn't great when I was watching it. It was
It's really off.
At least you got at least the beginning worked for you. At least you didn't know.
Totally. The beginning, I thought was great.
Adam,
I'm really turned off by 90s CGI. Even when it was
I just mean I was the opening. It's constantly. You're constantly kind of seeing something that's making you ask a question, just keeps going. Like
they establish the
mysteriously-
premise quickly.
It's well directed,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the movie has this very weird direction. But also the script, there's something just very off about this movie that makes it not feel real. Like the dialogue isn't real, or it's like Jeff Goldblum as a dad is weird.
Or the fact that two people were resurrected from the dead by a shot.
that whole reasoning is weird with the spirituality still being in there, I think. Like
I think it has too many weird elements.
Yeah,
that's what made me be like, oh, this would be a cool comic book, which is kind of like a cop out, I guess. But like, it had very much like, I mean, they're cool. Like it makes more sense if it was like a comic book or a graphic.
Well, I think
novel,
also when you said
tangible.
that about a comic book, like I could actually imagine this as a comic, like a DC Vertigo comic.
That's what
with that kind of brushed look, because really what this movie needs is a tone. Like it just needs an established tone of horror or of like suspense. Like there's nothing
there. Is it a horror?
It's so bright.
Is it genred as a horror?
This is a horror movie because really the key element to any horror movie is the guy doesn't know if he's insane or if it's really happening.
Right.
See, but they they never established that because we always knew he was actually seeing.
Not the dream sequences at the beginning.
The first one when he went to eat that stir fry that they didn't fucking eat, and he went in the middle of the night downstairs.
I thought he was making a sandwich.
No, he makes stir fry.
He looks
goes
at
upstairs
the stir
and
fry,
fucks.
drops it, and then makes us
Then he makes a sandwich instead of eating the stir fry.
And then he has that vision. So then
when
that's
you're
when
loaded like him and you have all that money, when you're as rich as him,
stir fry.
I don't feel like
he had a little 8-year-old girl run over. That's millions of dollars in the bank.
Yeah, he's just like living his best life.
Yeah.
So that you're right. That one I was like, yeah, is he the killer? But then immediately they establish that he's not the killer. I thought it was pretty obvious.
And the movie gets very boring after that first scene.
And they also sent us to hell. They gave us supernatural elements and heaven.
Yes.
So they gave us supernatural elements immediately. So I was like, well, I'm not going to believe.
Yes, exactly. That's another problem
he's not,
with this too.
They opened the world up too quickly.
The wife's skepticism of him, thinking that he's crazy and stuff, we don't identify with that because we've seen hell and heaven.
We know.
What else? What is she going to say?
No, she's right. What I'm saying is she's right for being as a viewer. I was like, I already know he's been to hell, so I believe him.
I think what William, you saying that like Jeff Goldblum's in this movie too much. I think you're right, and that like I was thinking that there needed to be some perspective shifts to the wife, and for her to see, for us to see Jeff Goldblum through her perspective, or like through when that scene where the detective comes.
That would be cool.
That scene where the detective comes. It's such a bizarre scene. It's like this guy pokes his head in.
Well, there's so many, but like there's so many things wrong with it. Just the fact that he's not injured.
Yeah.
I mean, he should be. If he was injured and she was nursing him after he was near dead. Remember, their daughter died of a car accident. Okay.
And
this is reopening. This should be reopening a trauma,
a PTSD situation.
Yes.
But it does not.
They should be, and then he should be like more careful with the daughter.
He's like, "Fuck! Why'd you bring me back? We could have tripled our money."
Yeah, he's just obsessed with getting insurance.
Oh, our insurance premiums are fucked.
But yeah, I think like
it's very underdeveloped overall.
This movie, the director didn't know how to direct it, I guess. But still stuff.
I think it's crazy. If you look at the screenplay credits, you can tell there's like a major rewrite by Andrew Kevin Walker, the guy who did 7. So like, if you see like the ampersand or the and, they both mean something. And usually there's like, you can tell when it's like a rewrite. I forget the format,
I get what you're saying.
This one
like
definitely
ampersand on a credit
rewritten.
Means something different than, and also like if they share a line or if they're separated, like that.
Yeah,
means,
vertically separated.
It's all like WGA stuff.
The other thing that's weird is that Lawnmower Man came out in 92. This came out in 95, and Virtuosity also came out in 95. So I'm thinking this sat around on the shelf for like a year. before they released it. It just kind of got dumped because they knew they had hot garbage.
I mean, back to the car crash. We never even finished. We just got past the truck part. And then they teeter on a cliff.
Yeah.
Backwards. Very fake looking.
Very fake looking.
That seems
and
really
then he lets the
badly
daughter
directed,
out.
I think.
It was
lets
cool.
the daughter
it was a cool
out.
shot when they were falling back, like,
Yeah,
and
that
you kind
part
of
was
get
cool.
a kind of a POV of them just like they don't know if they're gonna die.
But where they're
like,
teetering,
just
it's like we don't. Something's so off about the way that looks or is shot, where it kind of seems like it's bad on
It looks too
purpose or
safe.
something.
It didn't. I didn't see
I
a
don't
clip.
know.
Or
The whole
it
thing
wasn't
about
suspense.
Alicia Silverstone getting out, like that scene. There's no suspense in it.
Well, why would
It
she
seems
go out
kinda
the front
funny.
seat?
Well, the door wouldn't open.
There's no
on the
reason
other
for
side.
her to get out the front seat, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the doors wouldn't open on her. Well, it's a 2-door car.
But
It was a 2-door car.
Visual-
There was only 2 doors on it.
See, that's
so they-
lame. A 2-door
There's a-
car.
Yeah, this was 95.
It's like a
baby.
low
He's
budget.
driving a Mazda Miata, like
But then
That's so
then the
with his
They would
family.
have just get a
in the
4-door car
mountains.
for the movie.
They don't have like
and
a.
then no, because that's explained. They probably were like.
But what I'm saying, Ryan, is that
SUV.
visually there's nothing. They can
No,
having
yeah.
the door be locked and jammed is just such a cop out. If you
Yeah.
don't put like a visual element,
Also, when they get into the
That's why it
river,
doesn't
she
feel
fully
real.
pulls a 7-foot tall unconscious man out of a car by herself.
He just like picks him up by the seat of his pants, like a little,
Yeah, literally one-handed.
and they're just like floating in this very deep river.
Yeah, how's the car
And
not?
It looks
and
like
she-
a insert from a set, like a studio pool or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like
I thought
a
it was
river.
cool looking. Oh, I thought it looked real. That was the best CGI out of the whole damn movie.
Well, hate to break it to you, Ryan, but the only CGI in this movie is the heaven and hell imagery and some of the effects.
What?
That's the
Remember
nice
how-
thing
I thought
about
Jeff
that is the
Goldblum
nice thing
CGI'd
about
in through the whole thing.
I watched T2 last weekend, and the cool thing about T2 is the only CGI is on the T1000. They don't do like CGI cars. They're not doing CGI
Right.
squibs and sparks and blood and elements in the scene like you do now. Like when you watch like Fast and the Furious, the car will turn CGI, the building will turn CGI.
I hate it. I hate
So
that.
It all-
weirdly obvious, or like it's so crazy how it's obvious it is, but it's still
It looks so good.
done.
Like it looks so realistic, but at the same time, it's so obvious that it's not real.
Marvel movies.
Yeah,
the big-
Marvel movies. There's just something off about like how their bodies are moving.
Did you
Well,
hear
the other
about
thing
how
is-
Marvel movies are like they're like
Previs.
previs on their the Marvel movies happen like years before the movie is even like
course.
made, and it's like these are
course.
like like basically like created sequences that are in the movie, like the CGI stuff. They just don't.
I work
they have,
in-
like, CGI instead of
That
actors.
makes sense.
The visual effects industry, so I know people who do this, and yeah, like I know a guy who worked on Star Trek 3, I think the Justin Lin one, and like that guy did Tokyo Drift, and he was telling him like, yeah, you got to just copy this shot from Tokyo Drift, and he would just make like the Starship Enterprise.
Yeah, it's like assembly line stuff. It like
well, the director is
that
directing
quality
it.
about Sure.
That's the one thing that they're not
that's
saying in
true, I
those
guess.
stupid articles is that the directors are actually
Oh,
doing that.
really?
And like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and every single Pixar movie does that. Every
Yeah.
single
Well, that's
animated
anime.
movie.
I guess it's like just thinking about the Marvel movies as like part animation.
Well, animation is CGI, technically.
Yeah. But like thinking
all the
about it
same
as like an
shit.
animated movie,
Yeah.
kind of like the way, like.
So
a
then the
movie that
Marvel,
has
they
both
just
live-action
add
and
the
animated scenes.
the actor's face into it.
I think
No,
they
they
just
redo
recreate
all the CGI. Yeah, they do that, and then they redo the entire movie all like hundreds of times throughout the process.
But
Like,
isn't it
those
weird that,
movies go
like-
through, but they're commercials. They go through so many iterations.
the makeup aliens in the Marvel movies, the ones that aren't like Thanos that have like CGI and stuff.
What's her name? The redheaded actress, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Gillian.
Yeah, but what's that character's name?
I don't know, but like like
Gamora.
Gamora, Zoe
It's
Saldana.
Gamora.
They look so
Yeah,
bad.
she's
I
dope
think.
as hell.
No,
I
think
like
they
it.
look
It
bad.
does.
Or
it-
Vision.
Thanos looks awesome.
What about Vision?
I like Vision.
Vision looks like a
too.
fucking
You
idiot.
can tell. Vision's cool as fuck,
Vision
though. He
is-
looks exactly
Vision-
how he looks in the comics. And
What
stuff.
are they
So it's
made
like-
of? That's the thing, Adam and
It
I.
looks like face paint.
It just looks like they're they have
Well, it
like
does look like face paint, but that
But Thanos looks awesome, I think.
well, he's CGI.
Oh,
I
and
know,
Jeff
but they should
Goldblum
just-
is in.
they should do
Jeff
that with
Goldblum
all
in
of
that
them,
Thor
though.
movie. That whole Thor movie was like almost intentionally retroed like that with some of those aliens. But I mean, we like look at the Star Wars. The Mandalorian did the same shit, where it's like you could totally tell that was like prosthetics and paint.
Yeah, but that's
On
a TV
like a
show.
human
It's
being.
lower budget.
I feel like
I
it
was
worked
thinking. I
out for
just
Star Wars.
watched
It was weird to have
WandaVision
the
last
mix.
night, so I was thinking
I don't know what Vision's made out of when I see his face.
Jizz.
he's made out of vibranium.
It's made out of jizz.
He's made out of shoe polish and fucking lipstick.
Yeah,
He just has like greasy. He has
looks
like
like a
greasy
dog's
makeup
dick.
all up. Or what's Karen Gillian's character's name? Neptune.
who's that?
Nebula.
Her sister is Zoe Saldana on
Nebula.
Guardians of
Oh,
the
yeah,
Galaxy.
yeah.
Nebula.
Yeah, who's
She's
that?
supposed to be a
actor?
machine,
Well, no, she's a cyborg.
a cyborg.
Yeah,
it's
she's
like-
more machine anymore than she is.
Yeah.
She looks like the naked when naked women paint themselves and
Yeah.
dance
But
around on the
that's what I'm
beach
saying,
on
they
like
all do.
And those fucking remember
at
those
least
aliens?
Mystique, I knew she was an alien.
Yeah.
Or like she had like I knew that was like skin.
I don't know. But like
It's when it's like a weird in between of materials that are undefined.
oh, I think I see what you're saying. You're talking about the cyborg parts of her.
And it's like makeup, and it's just drawn on, and I could just see the drawing.
Remember those aliens in the Captain?
I mean,
Mar-
I'll
Captain
take that
Marvel movie?
over like CGI though. Like Thanos bugged me a little bit.
I thought Thanos looked great.
It all looked good, but it just was like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I
It just
don't
is.
like CGI.
I feel like it
I
would.
wanted a real flesh and blood actor, you know. I just want a 6'5" Jewish man in a white turtleneck sweater.
Yeah. He's in good shape
Flipping,
though.
flipping
this movie.
disgusting ass burgers.
Yeah.
He's always been
The
in good
grossest
shape.
burgers.
What is Jeff Goldblum's name in
Hatch.
Hideaway?
Hatch. Yeah.
Hatch. That's such a comic book name too.
Hatch.
It's just stupid. Like
So here's
Maybe he's
how
a
I wanted it.
detective.
Here's how I wanted it to end. Here's the comic book version, like how it would end is, he finds out the satanic suicide kid who also came back. They're sharing a mental link, right? So they
Yes.
only share that mental link because they both came back from
The dead.
heaven or hell. Yeah, the dead.
and they're the only two.
And they're the only two that the doctor resurrected, right? As far
Yes.
as we know.
Yes.
As far as we know.
Because they
So
have
they're-
no other
What are they
connection.
not telling us?
There is no connection between them for anything. It's not the same
Other
time.
than the doctor. Yeah.
Or
It's
it's
just
like
that
a
these two
serum.
people. Right.
So
they're
the doctor.
it's never
dies
explained
at
if
the
they
end.
do this on other people. Would they all connect and would they all share?
Yeah.
a
That's what
mind
I'm
meld?
saying. Yeah. So the doctor dies at the end.
Great question. I would love to know the answer, but the movie never bothers to answer.
That's where the sequel comes in. So the doctor dies. This is how it just ended so abruptly. So the doctor dies at the end, right?
Not
And
without giving his last word.
forgive me.
His last one.
Yeah. What does he say? Does he say
He
forgive
says
me? or is
forgive
that-
me. Yeah.
They should make more
Or
sequels.
forgive
based-
forgive my actions or something like
oh,
that.
right. Yes. That's kind of like the
And then he goes,
the last line in 12 Years a Slave.
but it's,
Isn't that the last? Isn't that similar to the last line in 12 Years a Slave?
I feel like this movie has the same vibes too.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so he could either to not end it, he could either not die, and then the doctor runs off and still works on his crazy experiment. So in the next one,
Yeah.
all of a sudden Jeff Goldblum has like he wakes up and he has like another visual link of another killer.
I thought you were going to say something was nuts.
So then,
What if
then
it
the
wasn't a
doctor,
serial killer?
The resurrection doctor. Yeah, it could be anything. The
What
resurrection
if it's just
doctor
like a really
is
gross
the villain, the main villain, and Jeff Goldblum is constantly chasing this guy down.
It's a good pitch.
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah.
They should make
But
more
look-
sequels for unsuccessful movies. I think
You guys
Like,
aren't picking up.
just to get it right.
What if it wasn't
Gotta get it
a
right.
serial killer? It's just a guy who like he died because he has like a horrible diet, and Jeff Goldblum just he's like, I'm at Arby's. This guy's he's like, don't order that, and the guy's just like ordering.
See, you could make that would be funny because Jeff Goldblum would kill that role.
Arby's.
If like so there's like hundreds of people now that this doctor is just traveling the country
and
resurrecting.
They're all dying.
People.
Remember, they're all dying.
They're all dying
have
and coming
illnesses.
back.
So and they
So
also
some of them
all
will be serial killers. Some of them will be like like maybe they're planning to blow up something. So they're like he sees that they're building a bomb or something. But then majority of them are just like people having heart attacks.
Yeah.
And coming back, and then
yeah, I mean a terrorist. Come on, these are very. Why would a terrorist die? It doesn't make any sense. Now,
are you calling the main
I
character
first said-
back.
well, I'm just saying like a grizzly man type, like a dumbass who
Yeah.
plays with animals and gets killed in the woods. And Jeff
Right,
Goldblum's
right.
like, he's going to the petting zoo.
Maybe you physically
or
have to be.
not only did he
Why is he
not only
going
did
back
he-
to Alaska?
Not only did this doctor bring back his son, but he also brought back
Not
his
his wife.
his wife
he
and
did-
daughter.
No,
No,
he
I'm
didn't
saying
bother.
this is my sequel. But
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
know what.
Don't save them. Save the son with the
the
extremely
satanic son that murdered.
complicated heart injury. Even if he brings him back alive, he's going to need a heart
Yeah, how do you get
transplant.
these injuries healed?
His heart got ripped out. Like they look pretty healthy. I mean, like they look dead, but they looked.
Yeah.
They were like
Him-
stabbed.
yeah.
Yes.
Like maybe even a normal doctor could have
He
resuscitated.
just like kicks them over to get to his psychopathic son. Gotta rescue him.
But then maybe the daughter and the wife, he did resurrect them, or one of the doctor's assistants
that's
gets a
dead?
hold of the.
Just ignore these characters.
No. At the same time that he resurrected his son, but we just never saw it because we were so focused on Jeff Goldblum throughout
Right.
the whole movie. So then maybe the daughter comes back fucking crazy looking for vengeance, and she goes like murdering all these satanic people. So her intentions are good to kill evil people, but then Goldblum's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Hey.
whoa, 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 whoa. Let's play the
Whoa.
movie game. Calm down.
So
she's kind of like
a comic
She's
book
like-
gold. Ryan, I
she's
think
like
we got
kind of a
comic book gold
Punisher.
right there.
She's like kind of like got a
that could be
Punisher
part
attitude.
3, where the girl comes back. This is a whole universe, cinematic universe.
Jeff Goldblum should
That's
bring back
what
his
I'm
daughter, his dead daughter. He should be digging up her grave.
Well, yeah,
And
totally.
then she's a
Yes.
skeleton.
Yeah, and also
doesn't have
And
any
her face
flesh.
is all rotted.
they should be like, by the way, heaven is real, or like,
No mention of that, Adam.
He becomes
know?
a prophet, or he becomes like a cult leader.
Hell's real, heaven's real. Well, he says he goes to a light place and a dark place.
What?
I liked how-
Look up.
the remember in hell, like the part was cool where it was like he was falling into like the asshole, like the flaming asshole.
Yeah, there's like a little sphincter with
Yeah.
like worms.
It looked like I
crawling out of
immediately
it. He's
thought of
like,
a sphincter,
"Eh."
a butthole sphincter.
Yeah, it looks like goatsy, which I think I like that imagery. Not goatsy for hell.
On the making of on the Sci-Fi Channel, they were like, "In hell is so scary. It's like a giant ball of souls, and they're all like screaming in pain and being smashed together."
They're describing this really shitty looking, like
There's like 15 people on a beach ball being swung
Yeah.
around.
it's going.
The
but
It's
then
hell.
when
There should be
heaven-
billions of people. in there.
Yeah.
the quote they have on IMDb. I'm looking up to see if they say what Hatch's job was,
Okay.
and it's nowhere. But the
Okay.
quote on IMDb for Hatch Harrison, the character Hatch Harrison, here's his quote. In parentheses, after dying in a car crash and being brought back to life an hour later, Hatch Harrison. Now, was I supposed to turn into the skid?
Yeah.
That's the quote they used on IMDb.
Jeff Goldblum wrote that IMDb page himself.
That was him riffing for sure. Just being like charming and shit.
Was I supposed to turn into the skid?
I like how when he went to heaven though, he was still falling into an asshole. It was just like a white,
Yeah. It was
white
just
asshole.
A bleached asshole.
Yeah. Still an asshole.
Yeah, it looks like the fairy from Ocarina of Time.
Mm.
It did. I immediately thought that when
It looks so lame.
and
so
then
small.
they just bust out their powers. They just summon angels
At
and
the end.
demons in the final battle.
Oh yeah, but they're not actually doing anything. Remember?
Oh, we
the
know what his
guys just
job
start
is.
wrestling.
They show what his job. He's an
Oh,
antique
he's
salesman.
an antique salesman. That's
Salesman.
he owns his
right.
own antique shop. That is fucking stupid.
I was always like, why is he in this antique store again? What the fuck is going on? I never.
It's Harrison's Antiques.
Yeah.
So then, I also had another comic
Patch
book idea.
Harrison.
So he finds out that like all these people can see, he's got other villains and stuff that can see through him just as he can see through them. So he wears a blindfold for most of his cases so they can't see where he's at. So then he's this badass looking dude with like a ninja blindfold on.
Oh, that's cool. Like Zatoichi.
Just stumbling into shit.
Yeah. Oh, not being like cool or anything, but just
He's just fuck.
knocking shit over and stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Real Daredevil vibes on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna email Jeff. I feel like he's attainable.
He plays like jazz in LA.
In
once a
LA,
month,
yeah,
right?
and he lets people go up. He's very tangible. He comes over to people's tables and just hangs out.
Barb said she was there with a friend of hers, and Jeff Goldblum, when he walked by and he was like saying hi to everybody, he like leaned down and whispered, "I want you very, very badly."
To Barbara?
To Barb's friend.
Oh.
Yeah, he's super horny and handsy.
Yeah.
There's like tons of photos of him like with his hands wrapped around girls' necks.
I thought you were saying just
Next.
boobies.
Really?
Yeah, because he fucks like crazy.
I'm sure.
He's in Jurassic Park. Everybody knows who he is. He just the
Yeah,
reason why he
just
has
because of
a
Jurassic
bar
Park.
show,
Next.
it's just because he's like, hey, look, I'm hanging out. I'm accessible. You want to fuck? Huh? Just kidding. But for real. And then any girls.
Oh wow! I'm
take him
looking
back
at
to his
this.
like mansion.
I'm looking at him grabbing the neck, and it's pretty cool. Got to be honest. I mean,
He's
that
a
a
good
thing?
looking. He's a good looking guy. So
it's an alpha
cool.
move.
He seems pretty cool too, though.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that that's an alpha move.
he was crushing it in the '90s. Jurassic Park,
It sounds like he's
Independence
still
Day.
crushing it.
Hideaway.
Oh yeah, Independence Day. That was another big one.
But he never really made. He never got an Oscar. He never ever made like a real movie.
Well, he plays the same character in every movie.
Yeah, he's a strange movie star. Like he's not like
Oh, weird. Yeah, he is doing the neck grab.
he's not a leading man. He's like a character actor. He's just very bizarre.
But he only plays that same character.
Exactly.
Like the
Yeah. He's just very
intellectual
charismatic. I think that's why he's like a movie
sweater,
star.
neck sweater.
I don't
turtleneck.
know.
Will you ever see Death Wish?
Oh yeah, totally. I forgot about that.
He plays a
He's in
rapist
Death
murderer.
Wish?
That's a good
Oh,
performance.
he's the
He
villain, huh?
He kills Charles Bronson's wife
Carl
and daughter.
Bronson says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped watching that movie once that scene came on. I hate that shit.
He's like, come on, rich cunts. I hate rich cunts. He's just killing them. But it's Jeff Goldblum. It's funny.
Yeah.
When he does it, it's funny.
It's like when he's wearing that "I'm a Pepper" shirt in Life Aquatic. It's like a funny Jeff Goldblum thing.
I'm raping your daughter, Ryan.
Yeah, he's an interesting. I feel like like the Death Wish performance is like a good performance from him because it's like a different character, but he's like literally just plays himself now. But he can be.
I liked him in Thor, in like the
Yeah, but
Ragnarok
he's
film.
playing like the Jeff Goldblum character.
He's still
in that
Jeff
movie,
Goldblum. Yeah,
You know, yeah.
like non-threat. Even when he's a villain, he's like non-threatening, goofy guy.
Yeah, well,
But
it's
he's
like he like him being in Jurassic Park. That's a very specific character that I feel like
sexy scientist.
he like leaned into maybe almost afterwards. Yeah, we're just like eccentric, like smart, like guy, but like very, very eccentric. He like was maybe so identified with that character that he
kept it.
yeah, like how much of that was his character, how much of that was like, you know,
you get typecast.
He found
himself.
his voice.
Yeah, totally. But like as a movie star, it's interesting. I guess a lot of other movie stars do that, kind of have they play themselves in every movie, but they're good
Well, yeah,
at
Al
it.
Pacino, Ben Stiller. Usually these guys are
Just
they
those
wear
two.
black leather coats in every movie and have the same haircut in every movie, and they're just like,
Right.
I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do anything different.
But people like
Al
them.
Pacino,
It's
They
working.
want to. They go see movies for that reason. They want to go see them in a movie.
they
Yeah.
used to, but it doesn't work anymore.
Bill Murray,
That's the problem.
although Bill Murray, I guess.
Bill Murray was a character.
Yeah, he
was a
doesn't play.
character.
He doesn't. I feel like he's not. He doesn't play roles similar to himself these days.
No,
Bill
he just
Murray?
became
Yeah.
Bill Murray became a character after, like, in the
They-
last 10, 15 years. Himself became as a character. Just
Those
like
roles
because of
pay the
popular
best.
shit.
Those are the roles that will give you the most money because it's just like, hey, we want a movie star.
Yeah.
You want to be the movie star in the movie? Come on, Jeff.
Come on, we'll let you play the movie game. We'll let you play the
Seen a
movie
lot of
game.
All right.
But yeah, Goldblum started out in like Robert Altman movies. He's in Nashville. He's in California Split.
Right.
He's like, is California
He's
Split
got a resume.
an Altman movie?
Oh,
Who's Almond?
Robert Altman.
Robert Almond.
Yeah, California
like
Split
Mr.
is
Peanut,
a
kind
Nashville
of.
movie. And then he's in Annie Hall. He's in
Oh, right. Yeah, he was like one of those sorts of guys, like a New York
See-
theater actor, maybe, or something. Like,
and he's in The Big Chill.
I don't know.
He's like
Right.
he's a
Man,
major
Big Chill sucks.
principal in Big Chill.
Yeah.
But then he very quickly goes into quirky movie guy with like Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, which is an insane movie, like Into the Night, The Fly.
Oh, The
So, yeah.
Fly. That was a good one.
Yeah,
The Fly is like his biggest role.
He
Mhm.
plays like he's real serious.
that
in
made
one.
him something.
That movie is nasty too. That's one I can't watch either.
Everything's
can
a-
watch-
and everything he does after is like a riff on the Fly guy, Fly character.
Yeah, yeah. But and that's like the role that made him, I guess, kind of like a household name.
I've never seen the
So-
ending of The Fly. I've never seen the second. Like I can watch it up until he starts pulling his own
Should just
fingernails
get it.
out, and then
You know, it's
no,
all
it's
makeup,
gross.
Ryan.
Man.
It's not real.
Yeah, but it's good. See, it's not CGI. It's like good makeup, so it actually has a visceral reaction. Or it makes me have a visceral reaction. Ugh.
Is that it? Is that
What happens? He becomes like a superhero, basically, right? He just becomes a
he
fly
tries
guy.
he kidnaps Gina Davis.
Comes
Oh,
like
a
a
super
King
villain.
Kong sort of.
He's a super
type.
villain. Yeah, he's the villain of the movie, Ryan. I hate to break it to you.
Because they made
like
Fly 2, right?
He's like a monster. Flight 2 is about his son, played by Eric Stoltz. And in the movie, he reaches adulthood in like 4 years because flies have super short lifespans.
Mm.
But he's
And then-
human.
He's like Jack.
He's human, but then he goes, I forget what happens at the end, but he turns into a fly and just fucking is murdering fools. There's a scene where he like vomits on a guy and all his flesh comes off. That's one of the best like gore scenes in movie history. It would make you throw up if you saw it.
Yeah, I mean that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
that's what flies do, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's just what flies be doing.
Every time they land, they throw up.
Not every time.
I think it's every time.
They're just vomiting all the time.
Move, get out of the way, get out of the way. As they're
I feel like I
flying
was
down.
told that it was every time. Whitney pointed out that Alicia Silverstone and Jeremy Sisto were in Clueless together.
It's true. It's a Clueless reunion. He played the hot guy, Trent or whatever, and like dumped her at the party,
Yeah,
fucked
yeah,
the
yeah.
redhead girl or something.
No. I
Played the
think
kissing
he
game.
wanted her, but she didn't want him.
He just wanted to fuck her.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like a
Is
kind of a
Goldblum?
version of these roles. No.
I'm talking about Visaggio,
But
Jeremy
I do think-
Sisto, the
Oh.
young, cool, handsome actor.
There were scenes where it was like, is this movie about Jeff Goldblum wanting to fuck Alicia Silverstone?
I wish it would be interesting if it was.
He had
I know, but
he had a weird energy with both of his daughters. Like when he
And his
saw
wife,
his
too.
youngest
Too
daughter
horny.
in when he saw his youngest daughter, I think it was, I don't know. It didn't seem like fatherly love.
Yeah.
It could have just been the acting.
Yeah. Very bizarre dad.
It didn't seem like creepy love either. It just didn't seem like authentic.
He seemed like
Well,
a stepdad.
Remember in the car crash, like when Alicia Silverstone walked over him and he quickly whispered in her ear, "I want you so bad.
I want you so bad." And then he grabbed her neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you very, very badly.
What if that serial killer guy ended up fucking his daughter and he's just watching the vision? Like, oh,
Yeah.
That
I
would
don't
have been a
wanna
good
see it,
scene
but
in
I'm
this movie,
so-
honestly.
I'm so
That would have been a good
intrigued.
scene.
Ooh, that would have added some weird complexity to it, but
But I
I
did
wouldn't
like
want to watch that.
I did like Jeremy Sisto's lair that he made, his hideaway.
his hideaway.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was
It's
very
like,
curious how he got
It's like a playground for
that electric bill.
like yeah. And it's in like the most conspicuous place possible. It's like underneath this amusement
Yeah.
park.
An
But it's like an
abandoned
impressive
amusement park.
structure. It's kind of like the set of Legends of the
It's
Hidden Temple.
true art. He was an artist.
Yeah.
This is a big thing in the 90s, like serial killer as artist.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Natural Born Killer 7, it's all kind of like
He was an artist
in that
though,
world,
this case.
in that idea. Or like Copycat, it's a serial killer who only copycats the most famous of serial murders.
Yeah, right.
So that's a movie where every killing he does is based on a real serial killer. I guess Silence of the Lambs
That's like not artsy at all. That's just plagiarism.
well, Picasso, he did that.
So you're saying Picasso's not artsy?
He's the Banksy of
Ryan?
serial killers.
Is that what you're saying?
Picasso ain't artsy as hell.
Andy Warhol copied other people. He's the pop art serial killer copycat.
Isn't
But
that
yeah,
the most
it's
modern
all-
in a way too? That's the most like 20th century sort of killer, is somebody that copies what they see in the media.
What?
Well, the 90s was I think the 90s was a very confused time where they didn't know what to do. So they were just like, we make it like the 70s, we make it like the 80s. Like it was so much regurgitated culture.
The
And America
Columbine.
didn't really know.
No, dude.
Columbine.
Jinkos did not exist. Jinkos did not exist in the 70s or 60s. The 90s was the most original. Jinkos, chain wallets, that shit was popping.
Bucket hats,
Raves.
Bucket hats.
shirts that have Tweety
Hey,
Bird on it,
Dad,
but like as a gangster rapper.
No
Dad,
fear. No
but
fear didn't exist.
Tweety is
in
a
the
gangster
70s.
rapper is what I'm talking about. It's a postmodern.
Yeah, totally.
But also, hey, Dad, when do you think are we getting back tonight? Because Gina got some crazy tickets for this really cool rave I want to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You don't get tickets to go to a rave. You just go
What
to
about
a rave.
crazy ticket?
got
Crazy
tickets to the
ticket.
And
rave.
then Pearl Jam. Yeah, they're just at a rave sitting in like stadium seating. Like it's not a rave at all. You're talking about a concert. Oh, you're at
I
a
got
concert?
front row tickets to the rave. Front row.
You're
baby.
like looking for your seat. You have to take the ticket. Walking around the rave. Excuse me.
And then was
Can I
Pearl
get by
Jam
here?
popping at that time? Because
See, that's why I told you. I think the movie was delayed a year or two.
I mean, I don't know anything about Pearl Jam, like when they were relevant, like really blowing up.
It's got to be early
No, it's-
90s.
I don't know why she doesn't name one of the bands on the soundtrack. Like, well, I guess you know why it's Pearl Jam? Because the old studio exec is like, it's got to be Pearl Jam. That's the most popular band.
Yeah.
And they're
Those
like,
tickets are hard to get. Probably.
Trust me, they're hard to get.
This is a weird time in movies, in these sort of studio movies, because like the grunge aesthetic and like what they're playing to, like a studio executive picking a grunge song, it's like such a it's such a bullshit. It's
at
like
the
a
tail end of it?
countercultural
The
thing.
trend's
that's
over.
completely- Yeah, like
The trend is played out.
yeah, corporations are just like using it as
He's
style,
like,
basically.
I heard about this genre of music called grunge.
Yeah,
So apparently yesterday, this obscure singer-songwriter, Kurt Cobain, blew his brains out. And up until that moment, I never heard of grunge.
yeah, exactly.
So we got to get on this.
I thought she was into more like
That's the one that grunge.
industrial,
was born.
like
Yes.
and
club.
goth. Yes, she
yeah,
is.
yeah, that too. But that's like also counterculture and stuff. But
We think they
like-
slipped that stuff in under the radar.
But it's interesting to
Like-
see like a studio, like a big budget movie have this like this aesthetic. It's kind of countercultural aesthetic. It's because it's like normally it would be in like Repo Man. It'd be like a low budget movie or something like that.
Well,
But-
that's the thing, because it's all fake and phony, and it's like surface level.
Yeah, it's like MTV. Hot
Oh,
Topic
also, can
shit.
we while we're talking about industrial club music, when she goes to the club and meets Iglesias, what's this guy's name? Veraccio?
Accio?
What's his name?
Massagio.
Massagio. That's like a really handsy Italian guy.
The other girl that he ends up like popping her eyeballs out or whatever, or wants to cut her eyeballs. She is banging, dude. She's hot.
That girl
Yeah,
was
these
really
are hot girls, and no one seems.
Is
to
that all you
care.
got to wear? Is a trench coat and some sunglasses to a club?
He's really cute.
He has very full lips. He
Those
had
really
very
tiny
full lips.
Yeah. For a devil
The
worshiper.
cops
he
would be
had really
looking for
full
these
lips.
girls. They're missing. They're somebody's rich daughter.
Ryan, I
and
swear to
they
God,
don't seem.
I also clocked that he had big, beautiful lips.
Well, they were distractingly. I don't know if I would say beautiful. They were just weird.
Sorry, Will.
I couldn't tell if they were chapped or just like luscious.
Oh man, yeah, that's how he pulls them in. To see if you wear those sunglasses, then it's like you're just showing off the beautiful lips.
Were
They
you
were
getting
too
Elliot
big.
Rogers vibes from this guy?
Totally.
Elliot, I don't know who that is.
He's like the autistic serial killer in Santa Barbara,
Barbara.
who was like
You see Santa
the
Barbara,
supreme gentleman.
the pickup artist nerd kid.
Yeah, he was the first incel killer.
He posted those really chilling vlogs before he did it that were just like, I'm
Elliot Webster?
Rogers.
Elliot Webster. He'd
He
be
made
like,
this big elaborate plan.
he talked to the camera like a psycho. I can't remember what he said.
He'd be
but,
like, I have a BMW. Girls
Oh,
should
yeah.
want me.
Oh, ugh.
but he would say it in a
Girls
very
should want
grandiose
me.
way and shit too.
He called himself the supreme gentleman.
This Jeremy Sisto character is kind of like Elliot Rodgery, but like he's right. He is the supreme
that was
gentleman.
only in 2014.
He's irresistible.
Motive.
Incredible
I'm looking at it.
red
He
sunglasses.
has 7 deaths.
And still
Motive.
died.
Motive. Social rejection and misogyny. That's his legacy. That's why he killed people. Social rejection and misogyny.
He was just like an incel who like was so
Yeah.
wanted to like
Oh,
so
revenge
bad
for
that he went
perceived
insane.
sexual and social rejection.
he wanted to have sex so bad that he went insane.
Well, go
basically.
buy a fucking hooker. Like,
Yeah, that's true. He should have just done that. He should not have done what he
just go
what he had
fucking
done.
pay.
Now that you
He was
bring
so-
that up, Fred.
He was so autistic that he literally couldn't like handle an actual human conversation on any level, and was just like completely hopeless. Because also he went to UC Santa Barbara, which is like the sluttiest
Do you not have
college
family
in-
or parents?
in California. His parents and stuff were really well connected, like were in the movie industry.
They couldn't get him help, get him some pills or something.
Yeah,
Like
it
they
wasn't-
didn't notice. They didn't notice their son was a psychopath.
I think it's
They
safe
got
to
him a
say they
gun.
probably didn't handle it right.
They got him all those blonde wigs to put on the ski targets or whatever. They pulled.
That'd be crazy.
They got him a meat grinder and a couple of Barbie dolls.
Samurai sword. Didn't he have a samurai sword too? Something like that.
I mean,
He started killing people with a sword.
He killed his like Chinese roommate, like his Asian roommate at the beginning. I feel bad for that kid. He's just like,
Yeah.
I hate
Just
my
sleeping?
roommate. He
Yeah,
sucks."
he's like he already has the worst.
just
roommate ever.
worried
Fucking
about
Elliot
his.
Rodger.
I got fucking finals coming up. He's just worried about his finals, and then he just gets murdered
Yeah,
He's just like playing
Suck.
by
StarCraft, gets killed.
some horny dude.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that'd be the worst person to get murdered by is somebody who's horny.
Some horny dude. Some horny virgin.
Yeah.
he's just like, oh, he's like, we're not getting laid that much either. He's like, oh man, I'm so mad. Haven't gotten laid ever in my life. Just like, oh, sucks, Elliot.
Yes.
Elliot,
Oh.
I'm trying to become a fucking lawyer over here. I'm
Yeah.
studying.
You have to like.
I haven't
hear
got
him
laid.
talk
I
about
haven't
it.
got laid either, dude.
Man, I hate it. I'm such a virgin.
Look at these lips. How have these not kissed a girl? Elliot, bro.
This girl walks up to him. She's like, "Hey, you're kind of cute. You trust me. You don't want me. I'm a virgin." Now the guy
He's so
in
bad at
Hideaway,
talking to girls.
the guy in Hideaway has no problem talking to girls. He's like picking up women, dating women, and then like killing them.
No, he's not, he's just sitting there, and the women come to him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Damn. I need to get a trench coat and go full Matrix aesthetic.
you should start wearing those really tiny sunglasses. Those tiny wraparound. Like
But you can you can still see like 75% of my eyes. They're so tiny.
And it just goes to show you how bad the screenwriting in the movie is, because it's not interesting to watch women just be like, "Hey,
yeah.
you're so cute."
And he goes,
Like,
"Do
you
you
wanna
want to
see-
come to my hideaway?"
You want to see the
Like,
serial
yeah.
killer hunt.
Yeah, sure. I love
This is
Hideaway.
my least. This is the thing I hate about the movie, which is, so Jeff Goldblum has his vision, and then he sees this guy picking up a girl at a club, and it's just like very quickly, like the next thing, it's just him in like an alleyway, just like stabbing her, just like cutting her,
Yeah.
like, and then he wakes
the
up
first,
nude.
The first one
This
was
is the first kill, the first
he
dream
slit her.
sequence.
He slit her throat.
Right. And then it's over. And it's like,
then
well, that
threw
should have been
her out
a
of a
10-minute
car.
scene. That's the
Yeah.
second girl.
Oh, I
But,
thought that
like,
was the same girl. He clearly had a blonde fetish.
They just brush over all this.
No, because that one.
So,
girl-
so the hunting is Regina. He's not excited about hunting
no,
until
Alicia. It's
No,
happening
Regina.
to you,
Her
too.
character's name is Regina.
I
Jeff
thought Regina was the
Goldblum's daughter.
younger daughter that died.
No.
No, Regina's
There's like
Silverstone or
a
whatever her
giant
name is.
graphic on screen. It's like, and Alicia Silverstone as Regina. And then you see Alicia Silverstone. He's like, "Hey, Regina." For real.
I see.
Adam goes, huh?
What could
like-
that mean?
I think it's the other kid.
But so the hunt is when he has like, it's too easy for him. So the hunt is when he has some psychic dude entering his eyeballs and he's like, "Ooh, Regina." Also,
And then
he never would have chased Regina if Jeff Goldblum didn't see through
Right.
his eyes and go, "Regina."
And then Ryan, the next scene, like literally the next moment, Regina walks across him.
Yeah.
Remember? After her friend says hi to him, Regina's there. So there is no hunt. There's no
Right.
No,
there's
but
no
after that,
tension in this entire
because
fucking
he goes
movie.
up-
There's
He
no-
goes up, and there wouldn't have been a hunt if Regina didn't have her friend there, because he was
And
up there
she
flirting
goes-
with her.
and she
Why don't
goes,
you back
"My
off,
name's
Creep?"
Regina." And he goes, "I know."
I know.
She's like,
She's
"Whoa,
like
this
already
guy's
ready.
crazy." It's like, "I dreamed about you."
That's a confident move.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's cool.
If this was like a Brian De Palma movie, there'd be so much more tension and just like the stalking of the women.
I was thinking like it'd be cool if we followed the serial killer kid actually instead.
Of course.
Of
Absolutely.
Jeff Goldblum.
That actor sucked.
No, but just like
He
the
was just
character,
so,
like
like-
those are the scenes you want to see. I feel like you want to see more of that. Yeah, there's something so off and weird about this movie.
then-
There was a lot of Jeff Goldblum. I
And
didn't
also,
think about that.
If it was like a guy in the underground of the city stalking women, going to clubs, at least it would be dark and moody and scary.
Yeah,
Most of the movie takes place in a very bright suburban home. As Chef Goldblum's running around in like Jerry Seinfeld sweaters.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when the Jerry and the gang go to Long Island, that party in Long Island. It's kind of like that house. You know what I'm talking about? They get when they
Everything's
get-
cream. Everything's
Yeah,
like white
yeah.
and creamed.
Yeah, it was lovely looking, a lovely home.
I need to get
yeah.
into the antique business.
There's big money in it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Apparently, they never had a single customer. They just
Yeah.
have some old lady that runs the register.
And she's a nosy.
Such a funny
busybody.
job for him.
Yeah, but she was a baller when the dude came in, when the serial killer came in and pretended to be blind.
Right.
She was like, "Oh, this fool ain't blind," and he was like, "Can you write down their their phone number or address so I can go talk to the Harrisons. And then he gets into the
That was such a
bathroom.
weird scene.
He gets into the bathroom and he looks at what she wrote down, and it's just a bunch of squiggles. And he's like, "Oh, that bitch!" I was like,
That's awesome.
That's such a badass move.
That's such a weird thing to write. That's like
a blind
to prove that he's
blind.
Lady
if it was a real number and he was blind, he would just be like, "I don't know what this piece of paper says."
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a good move.
I'm gonna have that's what I'm saying. It's a good move.
Clever.
She was a badass.
Hey, lady, I'm blind. Tell me the phone number.
She was the biggest hero of this whole thing because she was as naggy as she was or whatever. You think she's naggy old lady that works at your antique shop. She gave him the card to the psychic, and the psychic gave Jeff Goldblum all the information he needed. He went to that psychic and she did some sort of made up tarot reading and just was like, "Oh, you've died, and you're seeing through the eyes of this." Basically, described the whole movie to him.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was like,
really
shit, I need to do this, this, and that." And the old lady incited that. She was the true hero. I want more of her.
She's like Jar Jar Binks, how she's like responsible for the whole prequel trilogy, like plot. Dude, I noticed, I think at the end, by the way, when like he's in his fucking amusement park hideaway thing, and he sees all of his past victims, I think that all of them are the actual actress playing, that they're dead. But Radon Chong, I think, is like a fake thing.
They couldn't get her on the day.
Yeah, I think
Who's that?
That's my
Radon Chong.
That's the psychic.
Tommy Chong is her father.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what she's doing right now.
Nah, you're not being serious.
Yeah, she's in.
She was cool too.
She was a big '80s star.
And then Jeff Goldblum just is always looking at addresses when he knows that somebody is looking through his eyes.
I know.
Yeah, he's also like, "Oh, the Skies Motel. What is that? What does that mean?" And then he happens to like come upon it randomly, but he doesn't think to like look it up and try to track down where this.
No, he did. He tried. He goes, "There's no Skies Motel because it's Blue Skies Motel, and the blue is kind of."
I see.
Washed out from the guy's vision.
Was it? I just thought it was like blended in with the sign, and he just wasn't being perceptive enough.
And then at the hotel, he finds
that's pretty
private investigator and breaks into his car and takes an entire box of like clues,
evidence.
That's convenient. Yeah. Okay. This is good writing, I think. Actually, take it back.
But there was not, the clues weren't that like we already knew everything by that point. He got to, this private detective, this PI took who knows how many years to acquire all of these clues to end up at the Blue Skies Motel outside of the dude's door, and then he gets murdered, right?
Yeah.
So it took this PI to act. He actually did all the legwork, and then Jeff Goldblum just had a couple visions and they just showed up. So there's no new clues in the box.
Well, it's a good thing that PI decided to bring all of his case files with him. He's a
classic PI. He's a classic PI guy that has sacrificed his entire life. He lost his wife. He lost his kids to this case. He got divorced. He's probably living in his car, and he's obsessed with this case. You've seen PI movies.
I love PI movies.
They just take like the case and they're like, I have to solve this case. And then it takes like 10 years to solve it, and they lose everything in their life.
But they're all constantly traveling with every clue that they have.
Because they live in their car. They lost their home. They lost this. And it's more practical when you're chasing.
Put it in the trunk of the car. Okay.
He still has that bag of Doritos.
That's where he sleeps, probably. Yeah.
Just eating Doritos in a car, parked car.
Jeff Goldblum breaks the car in, and he looks at the clues, and then he looks at the Doritos, and then he looks at the clues, and he grabs the Doritos. That's cool. That's going to be a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah. Dude, nothing beats sitting in a parked car eating Doritos.
Waiting for a serial killer.
Yeah.
Also, could the serial killer heal himself like Jeff Goldblum could? Or was that part of the?
Oh yeah, that was such a bizarre part of it. I completely forgot about that.
Pain.
They did not use that at all because he's like
pain
a
makes the vision
superhero.
stop.
Yeah,
But is he
Or no,
immortal?
it forces
right.
division. The pain forces division.
but then
Yeah, but
he
then he heals
too.
up. He has like
Makes
a
no-
Wolverine level style of healing.
He's like, honey, come here, kiss me. Ugh, pain. I can see the vision.
Man, they're so
So he's
horny.
immortal, right? There's like, why was he scared? Why wouldn't he just charge in? I would like be willing to get stabbed to save my daughter and wife.
Yeah, sure.
I guess he had to climb that thing.
Did you say and life instead of and wife?
And wife. Well, you don't. If you're, assumably he's immortal, right? Maybe he can still age and stuff.
That's
but-
such a
Now-
That this movie has so many like extra
Did you-
details that make it confusing. And like,
Well, because did you watch after the credits?
there was an after the credits.
Yeah, there's a huge after the credits scene.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so
It's pretty shocking.
the
stuff.
the serial killer
Yeah, just explain it.
comes back
I was gonna go
alive.
watch it.
No. Go ahead,
Really?
William.
But it's
Is
like
that it?
open ended.
He
Well,
comes back
he
to
just-
life.
his,
But then Jeff
eyes,
Goldblum.
his, like eyes open or what?
They revive him after his enormous
thought it
shotgun
ended-
blast to the chest.
Well, that didn't matter because presumably he also has a healing factor like Jeff Goldblum because he's
maybe
full of
his
this
heart-
rejuvenation juice.
Remember, he stabbed
Resurrection.
himself in the heart with that really cool double sided knife.
Yeah, I don't understand. If
When
this-
he was mortal though,
if this, oh
and then
yeah,
he
but
went to hell and came back.
that's another weird thing too. Is that this movie was proving this like devil worship ritual, but then it
yeah,
didn't
I can
because it
become
was about
immortal
science.
if
It was about some scientific breakthrough, but there also was this soul element of it. Like, did they have a psychic link because of this satanic ritual thing that he did?
yeah.
But no, it just kind of is unexplained.
There is no explanation for the link.
Also,
That's-
why is this kid a Satan worshiper if he's like getting laid?
Well,
Is a fucking awesome
assumably the only because he's a socio-psychopath. That's like
He's like
condition.
American Psycho. I was thinking like, if he, like if you're
He killed before he was this guy. This
Trenchcoat
immortal,
Mafia
cool
shit
guy.
is like about being like a loser and getting revenge. Loser's revenge.
He just happened to be wearing a cool trench coat,
That's not
okay.
what the Trenchcoat Mafia is.
but he also murdered his
Don't disparage
His-
my people.
mother and sister. He was
Okay.
just a psychopath.
Wait, what's the Trenchcoat Mafia about, William?
So,
I got to go pee while you explain this to him.
look, the
You're just too
Trenchcoat-
scared.
The Trenchcoat Mafia is about like a state of mind. No, but for real though. So Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris didn't create the Trenchcoat Mafia. Their friend did. And they are like, they would claim it. So
Okay.
I believe the guy who actually created the Trenchcoat Mafia in that school is like, oh, the media went completely crazy with their depiction of the Trenchcoat Mafia. They don't understand it. Like, it was a joke.
They ruined the reputation of the Trenchcoat Mafia.
Yeah, he's actually like, there is a guy who is like upset about the depiction of the Trenchcoat Mafia in the media.
Yeah, that would suck if you worked hard to create a brand and then it got taken over by Columbine shooters.
By murderers,
Yeah.
school children murderers.
Hey, the couple was. I was gonna say that I was uncomfortable with how like horny they were as like a married couple. He really seems like a stepdad. He's got mad stepdad energy.
Yeah. Also, I think they're like establishing that like when you die and come back to life, you have like pep in your step. You have like you have an extra bit of juice, you know, you're like
Oh, sure.
more alive than normal.
So that's
You know,
why they
like
were fucking
you're-
a lot. But they were horny and
Yeah.
flirty before he died at the lake house.
Adam, you're describing a happy marriage.
No, but they were playing
That's
the
like a
movie
normal
game and being,
happy
like
marriage.
very cutesy and stuff, and like
Yeah, that's a happy marriage. And they have sex all the time and they're not arguing until he goes crazy.
I think they're just kinky. They're kind of like the hot tub couple that
Adam,
SNL sketch.
buddy, that's just like how it's a fake relationship, but
Oh my
it's
god!
unrealistic.
just the fact that they have sex at all.
But
Well,
yeah, I
also,
think
Yeah.
that was the rejuvenation potion too, because he's like probably feeling the best he's ever felt in his life,
yeah, for sure.
just physically.
He's
I feel
literally
like
immortal.
middle-aged women though with that haircut are also like kinky. They're into kinky shit if they have short hair like that. That short mom cut. You know what I mean? And Jeff
The
Goldblum
camera
is a
barely
kinky
showed her.
guy.
It kept showing his body.
Jeff Goldblum, boy, did it.
Yeah, it just showed the back of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, every
But Jeff
shot of
Goldblum is a
him.
kinky guy. Obviously, he's got kinky energy, and this lady has the kinky
I
late
mean, they were
woman
just having
haircut.
basic sex though.
Yeah, it wasn't that crazy, dude.
It wasn't like,
All right, fine. They're not that kinky. They're just happy.
nobody was in cosplay. Nobody was wearing a furry tail
I mean,
or something.
If you
I
knew
guess that
nothing
would
about
even-
sex and only watched 90s movies, you would think sex was just like missionary
yeah.
and
really
basically-
actually people in love.
it was like a life-changing experience every time it happened.
Yeah.
It usually is for me.
Or like in a 90s movie, like
Yeah,
really
for
hot
better or
sex is
worse.
like the girl's on top. They're like, whoa, this is like crazy kinky sex.
Right.
And then
Her
in this one,
boobies.
Right.
he gripped the headboard, and they were doing like a
That's another big thing.
what's the style? They were doing like he was sitting on her lap, facing her, that position, and then he was grit, and then
he had
gripping.
his legs around her. On
didn't
her
he? I don't know if he had him around
And then, like,
her,
his
but
dick
didn't
was
he?
pushed
That's-
like down enough that it could still go in, even though his legs were wrapped around her.
I mean, it's pot.
That's the position they did.
It could happen.
William, why are you shaking your head?
I'm just thinking about like 90s sex. I guess it's really once internet porn comes out, you just can't, they couldn't even.
I mean, I've seen people fart on cakes, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
Everything got crazy because like Team America, remember
home
that sex
videos.
scene? It's like super graphic.
yeah,
Your birthday party?
it really was. For a couple of
America?
puppets too. Like it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's one of the best probably sex scenes in
Yeah,
any
that's right.
comedy.
It's very funny.
It was so like graphic, but it's also puppets. I've never felt that weird about puppets.
Yeah.
Now I
Classic.
can't have sex unless I'm watching puppet porn.
Yeah. I really liked the CGI stuff, even though it's shitty. Kind of reminded me of that there was like a direct-to-video Mortal Kombat computer animated movie that came out around like the same time as the live action movie in the 90s. And it had this like shitty level that reminded me of. But it's actually kind of fun to watch still. Like you're seeing hell or you're seeing like these kind of crazy looking fantasy landscapes. So you're just like, this is kind of sweet, even though it's like incredibly shitty.
and it's not like cheap CGI in Hideaway. It's Sony ImageWorks. Tim Miller's listed on the credits. He's the director of
the Deadpool
Deadpool
guy.
and
Damn, that's cool.
Terminator Dark Fate. He started Blur. He worked on it. Like, I think it cost a lot of money and it looks like absolute dog shit. But the real reason why it looks like absolute dog shit is it's just a horrible idea to show hell in such a literal form. It's so bright. Everything is so visible. The concept of the people getting slammed into each other,
Yeah, that's
screaming
the ball.
soul faces shooting out. It all looks so bad. Like there's nothing evocative.
It's too like abstract or something. Like the asshole was good because you're like, oh yeah, like that's what hell is. You fall into a giant flaming asshole. But after like you're there, like yeah, I feel like that's where everybody gets fucked up. Like what do they show when you're actually in hell? Like the part where people are getting like tormented and stuff. How do you show that? What do you know?
It looks fucking terrible. And I would love to see like any concept art drawings or like what they thought it was going to look like.
Mm.
But it's just, it looks like a
Heaven-
Nintendo 64 game.
Yeah, Heaven, I kind of liked the idea of that one a little bit more because it was like a kind of this and like it was this simple like ambient mist like plane that you were on, but it was bright and like the people you loved were there, but it was all like kind of uh it felt like it was like a uh metaphysical like you were in like a
Right. It's
metaphysical
less.
reality.
It's less.
Yeah, and he got his
Physical.
chakras, like his chakras
Yeah.
just straight up aligned. I love that scene where it was like he was just
Yeah.
complete bliss. Like it showed
Just
or
cool,
five
like
of his chakra at least.
cool like techno video shit.
It looks definitely better than hell.
Yeah, hell was just
They should have just shot.
funny.
Honestly, they should have just shot a background miniature environment or something with like smoke and mist and real elements, and then put
Yeah.
the CGI on top, because like making the CGI characters, the glowing characters, and the zombie demon ball,
The zombie demon ball is so stupid.
it looked like a video game boss. Like he went
Yeah,
down
yeah,
the tunnel,
totally.
he worked his way, and then he ends up in this big like round room, and there's just like, this is heaven. It's a fucking giant woman smiling.
That makes
at you.
see that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense
yeah.
because that makes more sense because you could just use light. Like
Yeah.
for heaven, like it would be easier to CGI that, I think, like, and just have one giant, maybe more of a silhouette of a creature with just glowing light
Dude,
blasting
show yeah,
behind
like
it.
for hell, I feel like you could do like show like darkness and like have like the devil be like this
Yeah.
giant thing that's
Yeah.
in the shadow or like something.
Well,
you know?
I was thinking a shadow. Like they could have
Yeah.
just kept it to silhouettes. It
Right.
didn't have to be that detailed. But he was clearly proud of his CGI, so he wanted.
It's
He's like,
very
he was like,
obvious.
check this out. Like you're gonna want to see
And
It's
everyone-
very,
all
yeah,
of
it's very
this.
obvious
Is
that it
that-
sucks, and like
Although
maybe they spent
flames
so much
produce
money they
light.
wanted to show it, and they didn't know what to do. But like,
Or that was his style. Like, and they thought that style would be cool to like that would pick up.
It's also like your
I
eye as technology progresses, your eye becomes more sensitive to how shitty that stuff looked. And I feel like maybe they just were like, this looks pretty good, right?
and when I was a
Like that.
kid, it didn't look that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean because
Like
that
video
was like the
games.
peak of that was the peak of the technology back then. I remember
Right.
playing Zelda Ocarina of Time on 64 and like that first cutscene. I was like, this is like watching a goddamn
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And now when you look back on it, it's just it's like just a cube riding
You're like,
a horse.
oh my God, I was
Like,
a fucking
what the
idiot.
fuck?
Can't believe I was so gullible.
Yeah, it's
and
aged
stupid.
terribly, and like I feel like the giant mnemonic scenes
Yeah.
are vastly superior.
Mm.
So-
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of more creative. They're like more creative and just better executed. I feel like, even though it's kind of like the same level.
Lawnmower Man's pretty rough, but like there's
Never saw it.
there's something fun and charming about the Lawnmower Man, because they're like, when you see that guy smiling and he's like
Mm.
hacking
Yeah.
and
It's like that MTV
doing all
video.
his shit.
But also, it's like it's crazy that just like it just has no effect on the characters. Like going to the afterlife, like this kid goes to hell and then comes back and is like, "Yeah, I was right. This is awesome." But he was like screaming in a ball of flames. You know what I mean? He wouldn't. Why would he come back to life and start killing people again?
Yeah, they should be horribly damaged.
Well, I mean, the psychopath makes sense because maybe he just doesn't have it genetically to like feel anything. But you would even think he killed himself to go meet Satan. He did it for Satan, so you would think he would even be like a little bit bitter
Right.
and be like,
He seemed
"Oh,
pretty scared when he met
You brought
Satan."
me fucking back. I
Yeah.
was hanging out with my dude." I'd be pissed as shit if I. But they also
he was
Jeff
getting
Goldblum said
Torture.
he didn't remember. He said he didn't remember that when he came
That's
back. He's like, I
bizarre.
don't remember anything. He's like, I remember the car accident, and then I remember.
That's a bizarre choice.
I remember. He was like, I feel like I see. They should have dove more into it with the dialogue, but he's like,
Well,
when
at
he's like,
what
I
about
feel like
the
I
end of the
saw our
movie?
daughter.
the end of the movie, when they confront each other in the underground amusement park, the ball of Satan comes out of the bad guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
The heavenly being comes out of Jeff Goldblum, and they battle it out metaphorically, like Scott Pilgrim, like the fucking DJ battle.
Yeah, with like, I mean, that's just like an anime comic book thing.
Exactly, it looks
Where
like
they just
like
use,
a Final Fantasy battle,
summon spirits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
right? They summon the spirits and they fight it out. But then Jeff Goldblum gets his shotgun and just fucking wrecks the dude.
When he shoots the shotgun, if you notice, it's bullets of light.
Yes.
It's like white bullets. So that's still, he's like shooting, he's still like pumping whatever angelic energy through.
Yeah. It's like they're angels in the outfielding, but for the bullets and the gun.
100%.
The angels are just holding the bullets going into his heart and chest.
Yeah. That's cool.
But I like that part because the demon starts coming out. The demon ball, the beach ball of demons starts coming out and he goes, bow down to me. And Jeff Goldblum takes like 5 steps back and then just drops on his knees. And I'm like, oh shit, he's about to get rocked. And then he's like, praise about it.
Yeah.
And that's when
but he's not a religious man.
No.
At all.
He's Jewish.
Not at all.
Clearly.
Oh, yeah. That's
that's
why. He's just Jewish.
I was going to say antique.
He's like, all right, this seems crazy, but I'll do it.
It would be funny if it was about a Jewish guy becoming Christian after he comes back to life and then he converts to Christianity.
He's like, guys, I got to tell you, Jesus is real.
yeah, that's what the movie. That's like what happens the rest of the movie.
What if it was like a Mormon imagery?
I soiled my
cool.
my special underwear.
It's just
it's Joseph Smith and the planet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wait, so did feel like after the credits, the guy just comes back to life. Nothing else happens,
and he kills the nurse. And,
he's in a hospital. They brought him to another hospital.
Yeah, they resuscitated him, and then he woke up and killed her. They used the rejuvenation thing again.
Dude, just let this. No way. So
and then Jeff Goldblum wakes up. Then Jeff Goldblum wakes up.
Oh, it was a dream.
And he's with his wife in bed, and then they start playing the movie game. Not joking.
Yeah. The movie game. It's awesome. This is the movie game movie.
So he is immortal. They both are immortal.
Or
just quit fucking rejuvenating people. Yeah. Let people die. People are going to die when they die. And what they say, one of the coolest quotes in that movie was, some souls just aren't meant to last that long.
Ain't that the truth?
And it was in regards to his 7-year-old daughter who got brutally murdered by a Corvette.
Hey, some souls, they don't got it.
Some souls just don't got it.
The little kid, she don't have it.
She ain't got it.
What did you think when Jeff Goldblum goes to the doctor's house once he knows the doctor is the father, and they open the refrigerator and then a corpse just falls out?
How long has it was the first time the doctor had seen that? Because there was a note on it.
And the note's like, I hate you, Dad. I hate you.
Right.
I'll be here.
Yeah. This kid is
being brought
back to life.
I open the fridge 400 times a day just to see that there's something in there for me to eat.
He just got home from work. He was
so it just happened in that day. Because that PI was dead for at least 24 hours.
The Doritos PI?
Yeah. The
Doritos detective?
Poor guy.
That was his trademark.
You know the Dorito detective's been around because there's this little orange fingerprints all over in the crime scene.
On the crime scene. He dusts with orange Cheeto dust or Dorito dust.
Chews it up and then just spits it all over crumples up a Dorito and blows it on the desk to get the fingerprints.
All the evidence has a little Dorito dust on it in the big case, the cardboard boxes he lugs around.
He looks at this case just got, and he puts down his original Doritos and picks up spicy nacho. Spicy.
They're like, he's like on the crime scene, he's just like licking his fingers, like touching doorknobs, and the other guy's like, hey, can you get out of here?
His catchphrases are just all relied on, hey, buddy, I can get out of here, but you need to. Puts down his spicy nacho, picks up Cool Ranch, cool down, and takes a bite.
He wakes up in the morning and he's just like, oh, he's like hungover. He's like, went a little heavy on the Cool Ranch yesterday.
Rolls over like he's got a drug problem and smashes
opens up a giant pack of Doritos. Yeah, Doritos, just opens a bag. Scarfing.
Gets that first whiff of the Dorito.
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the Dorito.
Yeah.
He's in the liquor store. Hey, give me a packet. Let me get a pack of nacho cheese.
What are those, Verde? Is that a new brand? Let me try them out.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Hey, detective, we gotten some flaming hot Cheetos. Have you had these yet? He's like,
No way.
he's like, come on, I can't handle that. He's like, oh, you know you want it.
Yeah.
You haven't
Fuck
had
it. I can't figure this case out unless I get deep into it.
He's like smoking, like a guy like smoking crack in an alleyway. He's just like eating flaming hot Cheetos, crying.
But he's the best in the biz, man.
He
That's
does all his
gonna seem
PI work.
complicated.
Like
Murdered.
he's got his
Yeah.
laptop and his all his paperwork out at a Taco Bell, and he's just eating Doritos local tacos. That's like where he does his work at the local Taco Bell.
That's his only non-Dorito food, or the Doritos Locos Tacos at Taco Bell. So he gets all his food groups.
His hands are just orange, like they're just covered in.
He's in disgusting
Just
shape,
orange.
by the way.
No, he's jacked. I want this guy to be ripped.
Yeah.
He's like, I was in the army. I started eating Doritos. So he just, it's part of
He was a
my.
Marine, part of SEAL Team 6. Was a brilliant detective on the force.
Yeah. And got hooked on the
But
D.
one case just fucked him up.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how hard it would be to put a human body in a refrigerator? Like you'd have to take out all the
You
shells,
have to take out all the food,
all the
shelves.
food.
That's a good
What are you
point.
doing?
And then what do you do with all the shelves and food?
exactly. Throw
They're
them
in his
garbage.
devil worshipping room.
When that happened, I for a split second I was like, "Oh, the dad's been in on it."
Mm.
I thought that was like a
Yeah, so it's
dad's hidden
disorienting.
secret.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that could have been cool.
He's
Technically,
like, "I
the
know
dad
he's a
is
psychopath, but
the
yeah,
dad is in on it. He knows his son's crazy. He never told
he's
Jeff
withholding
Goldblum.
information."
He's
By
like
the way,
always-
when he resurrects Jeff Goldblum, by the way, you don't have any like blonde daughters, do you?
Remember when right before they resuscitate Jeff Goldblum, the nurse is like, "You remember what happened last time?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, whatever. Let's do it." No, but what happened last time? Nothing. His son came back to life. It worked. The only reason
Yeah, so what
his
was
son
the
was
problem?
already
That
his
made
son
no-
was already established to be a serial killer, so it's not like he came back and then was a serial killer.
Well, he was
because-
just a murderer. Not
exactly.
a serial
So it's
killer.
not like he became. So the nurse know that the son is
Okay.
murdering people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people,
Or she- I mean-
the surgery staff or whatever.
The dude was pretty easy. Inglesias, what was his name? Vergratius.
Sergio.
Vagina.
Yeah.
This dude was clearly a creep, and like almost everybody except for a couple of hot girls that ran into him were like, "This guy's giving straight up creep vibes." Even
Yeah.
Regina's friend was like, "You need to learn." Like, like what the fuck? You're flirting with this guy? He's clearly a creep.
This movie is a cautionary tale about falling for the bad boy.
The thick-lipped bad boy.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the Marilyn Manson stuff that's in the news this week. You know what I mean?
What's that?
Marilyn Manson's a bad boy
Doing
that
what?
the girls fall for. Just abusing his girlfriends and stuff.
I mean, is that surprising?
Yes. The fuck?
Look, if you're 18 and you're dating like the cool dude at the goth club, guess what? That guy's a fucking loser.
She wasn't even 8.
Yeah.
She was like 15. Or are you talking Marilyn Manson?
Fucking yeah, both of them. It's like, yeah, the guy at the goth club who you think is so cool is not cool.
Golf club?
At the goth club, he works at like a video store or movie theater, or like
No matter how
Oh, he's-
small his sunglasses are.
he smokes cigarettes. Oh, he
Yeah,
drinks
yeah.
coffee all the time and like doesn't give a fuck.
He's
That's
7
really
years
good
older than
CDR.
you.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
banging young girls because they have an apartment in the city, so they seem like so special.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like where their
They're cool
mental
guys.
capacity is. They're 18-year-old mentally. The men are, or whatever. Women can do it too. Okay, women can do that too.
They could be goth.
Women can creep on young guys too. Okay, they can be
Yeah.
goth. No, they can't be goth. That's a guy thing.
Guys only.
Guys,
It's your
sorry,
When
ladies.
you were like-
goth is for guys only.
Yeah.
Remember when you were like 21? Wasn't there always like
Stay
one
away.
girl who was older and would like really be flirtatious to all the guys? It's just like I don't want to go for her. You
No
know,
way.
That's been since I
That's the
was
coolest
like
thing you could do.
18.
it's just go for the girl who's like really flirtatious with all the guys who.
Yeah, and she's like 7 years older, and she smokes
But she's
smokes cigarettes a
Too
bunch and
much.
stuff.
She's Doritos all up on her lips. Dude.
Yeah, she's the Doritos detective.
Jeez.
Dude, do not stay away from the Dorito detective, girl.
I mean, if you got a case, you need him to work, hire him. But
Yeah.
that Doritos detective broad, whew.
Don't try to don't fall in love. That's all I'll say. Business only with the Doritos detective.
Oh, I want to make that the
Yeah,
Doritos detective.
that should be the sequel to this movie, the spinoff.
Just like a
And it-
gun belt full of mini Doritos bags around his waist.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just
He uses it like can throw
just
them
so
like ninja
fat and
stars to
out of
like
shape.
kill people. Can like just utilizes these Doritos in so many different ways.
just has a problem. Just has a genuine eating disorder. I have I'm torn with this movie because it's hard for me. These movies are hard for me to rate because I enjoy the bad weirdness of them, but I can tell that they're not like, I know obviously they're not like good movies, or they're bad, like especially bad, but they're still
Objectively.
like, how do you reconcile that? I don't know.
Entertaining. They're meant to be entertaining. That's what movies are made for.
yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta.
This movie gives you
So-
what you don't know that you want. Like when they fall into the river and shit, you don't expect it to do that.
Yeah,
You're
that
just
went
like-
on for a little bit.
Yeah, but you're like, okay, this is weird.
I was immediately out of it when the first hell scene. I was like, okay, this is what we're
I was
working
in.
with.
I was in just like
And
him
that's
going
that's
into
when
that
he said this
flaming
movie's
asshole.
awesome.
Yeah, that was me falling into the flaming asshole of this movie, being like, this is great.
Yeah, they
That's
already
when I was
established-
like, my reality had to be like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch this as if it's like a comic or like a graphic novel or an anime because
Yeah.
it's just wild.
Yeah,
Could be a dope anime movie. I'm just saying, my biggest thing is they could have depicted heaven and hell way cooler, and then that battle at the end with the demon and the angel or whatever would be so badass if it was like animated
if it wasn't
instead
shitty.
of CGI'd.
Yes, but alas, that was not the case.
Yeah, I mean, this movie's pretty bad in my opinion. I give it 1.5 star.
yeah,
1.5.
Easily.
I think you're in the ballpark there, dude.
It got me excited to start thinking about like how it could be a pretty cool graphic, how it could be a cool thing, how he
Settle down.
could become like
Settle
use this
down.
immortal. I also
Don't
love
buy the
anything
rights
with,
to this
like,
movie.
Give it a number, man. You got to give it a number.
Don't buy the
I
rights to
also
this
like
movie
the
and make it
I
into a
also
graphic
like the
novel, Ryan.
any character that can rejuvenate that quickly is like a big turn on for me. But a big turn off was he did
Turn
not
on.
utilize it at all.
Yeah, it's
He
a
didn't
shitty
use
movie.
his.
Nothing in the movie makes sense or comes together.
And it's very weird.
It
that
was
Jeff
very
Goldblum
most
boring.
playing
simplistic
It was
the
very.
guy.
There's about 40 minutes that were very boring, and even the final thing with them climbing around the sculpture was pretty boring.
You kind of thought Alicia Silverstone
Yeah,
was going to be bigger.
I'd go
an
3 stars.
abandoned amusement park. I mean, it's completely cliched.
I'd go 3 stars. But that was
But it
the
is
night.
fun-
It was
fun to
at the
watch.
time. It wasn't cliche.
It's fun to
was
watch.
it in '95?
Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars, and he's like, yeah, the movie's dumb, but I liked it.
I'd give it
That's
3.
cool.
That's my quote. Then I'd give it 3 stars. It's stupid, but I like. There's something there that you could mine out of it.
I was going to give it 2 for its entertainment value, but
So
it was
just
hard
0.5
to.
And
away
because
from.
it has to be half
It's
a
just
star
hard to-
within my rating every time.
Yeah, I just have to do half a star within Williams' rating. So, yeah, I was thinking about doing it too. It just sucks. I just wish that you would stop posting these so fast, like before I can watch them.
It was already rated. I've already seen the movie.
No.
I don't give a shit what you
all right,
think,
fine.
buddy.
Well, I can't. I'm just like not able to get past this context for any rating I give because I always see your rating before I can watch the movie.
Well, quit. Just unfollow him.
Don't
on
look
that
at the
app.
rating. Don't look at the letter.
I have to see what's up. Anyway,
I follow hundreds of people. I never see your ratings. It's just
see.
a random feed. It's just a random feed of people.
Right. Well, yeah,
I can't wait. I personally can't wait for the sequel.
Yeah. The series of movies.
Could be any year now.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's kind of a cool concept. Like I could see how on paper it would be exciting when like they're pitching it, where they're psychically linked. So it's a race against who can get to the other person quicker by what they see through the other person's
That's just
eyes.
such a confusing part of the movie.
It's the lost potential of the premise that really
That's the thing. Like the premise is kind of cool.
Sure.
That really, they're just striking out left.
It was not utilized well.
I'm telling you, like if
just bizarre writing. Something
if the serial killer scenes had actual tension, the dreams had actual tension. If they stretched that out, but instead we get so much of this domestic drama bullshit with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
shot in this shitty Airbnb
couple of swingers.
This McMansion garbage house.
He says as he has his pinky out while he hits his vape.
Yeah.
Does he have any antiques in his house?
He's not really
look like an antique dealer.
He doesn't like to mix. There could
have been a cool aspect in that regard where like the serial killer, like there's more to the movie after they both realize they can see through each other's eyes, and then they start like the serial killer starts fucking with Jeff Goldblum and is killing people, making them wear wigs and calling them Regina as he's like killing them, to fuck with Jeff Goldblum.
Right. That's a cool idea.
Like, you're never gonna catch
Listen
me.
to this.
Good.
What if he was selling an antique to his father, and then like there was like an element from the antique that he used that connected them, or like
no, that's dumb as shit.
The doctor guy had a house full of antiques.
I got to agree with Ryan.
That was just his job. They're connected because they went to the other side. They went to the other side and came back.
Yeah,
but they could have fucked.
But they were also the only two that got.
Yeah.
They were also the only two that got this.
As far as we know.
Thing.
But
anyway, I have to go, guys.
Yeah.
Wasted potential. 3 stars.
Wasted potential. 4.5 stars.
If you want to laugh at some garbage CGI, it's worth watching those clips on YouTube.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I would put that on in the background if I was like having a rave or something. If I was hosting a rave.
If you got tickets to a rave.
Yeah. Dude, I wish.